X-ray by radiologists can be subjective variability. So the development in anomaly detection can be solution to help analyze objectively. The main challenges in developing of pneumonia detection is the public data set test X-ray is very limited and imbalance between classes. The previous study about detection of pneumonia. Next. The previous studies about the detection system of pneumonia have been conducted in several approaches. The first, the application of deep learning using CNN, and then the application of transformer technique to check extraction process, and the third, hybrid approach combine deep learning and machine learning, and the last, generative modeling with data augmentation to improve detection performance and to address imbalance classes. Next. So in our research, we study purpose traditional augmentation and persistent analyzed gradient generative adversarial network or using an NGP augmentation to detection model of CNN using transformer testnet 121 and support vector machine from SVM. This model was implemented in flex-based web application. Okay, next slide. We use a numerator set from Kaggle consisting two classes, normal and pneumonia. Normal is minor class, and the augmentation applied to the normal class, so the data set become balanced for normal and pneumonia classes. Okay, next. There is architecture of WGA and GP augmentation. The left for generator architecture and the second sequential architecture. The generator transforms a random noise to generate synthetic image, and then combine with the real image, back to the discriminator, and discriminator decide if the fake sample is real training data or not. If discriminator can distinguish fake samples and real training data, the training is completed. With WGA and GP added gradient penalty. Next. Gradient penalty to ensure and address the and avoid gradient vanishing pattern. Okay, next. Number one of and next. Now, our proposed business process diagram can see in the figure. The first, the data set split into parts, training data and testing data. And then the minor class is normal class, applied WGA and GP applied to training data and normal class. And then the entire data training applied to pre-processing and traditional augmentation. After that, the detection model built the first feature expression using the testnet 121 and followed by classifier SVM. After the process training done, the process to build implementation, and then the detection model test by over-tested and evaluated. Okay, next in the result discussion. Okay, this is the result of the generated image from the WGA and GP augmentation. And that. Okay, next performance. We do 4 scenarios to test the data augmentation. The first scenario applied non-augmentation data in the hybrid model detection, and the second scenario just edit traditional application. The first scenario, edit WGN CP the augmentation only, and the fourth scenario, the put augmentation. From this result, we can see that combined traditional augmentation and WGN CP produce the best result with a score of 90.8%. Next. This model also compared to the other phenomenon detection system using CNN testnet, transfer learning testnet 121, and hybrid deep learning, transfer learning, PCG 16, and classified neural network, and hybrid CNN SPM. And the result shows that our purpose system is the best detection performance with accuracy 93.22%. Next, the following example of the display of the result in the web application. And last, the conclusion in our research is the data augmentation can be addressed the limitation of data set just explained, and address imbalanced classes. And this our research that combine augmentation, traditional and WGA and GP can achieve the best result. And the future research, data generalization can be applied to detect several long diseases from multi-classes, multi-sources, and multimodal databases. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Moniker, for that insightful presentation. Now we will open for Q&A session. Is there any question? Is there any question from the other attendees? Okay, please mention your full name and your affiliation.
Thank you. My name is Namai Pamungkas. I'm from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. I'm curious, since the accuracy is quite high, for 93% something, so it means that the misclassified case, I think it's not so much. Did you take a look on the misclassified case, and could you find some pattern on or difficulties why this misclassified case happened?
Okay, maybe there's some pictures of the synthetic result. Some several images from synthetic image, particularly phenomena dataset, not verified, ada macam-macam not verified. So maybe misclassified the detection of pneumonia pasien, decision to normal class, because the fog or the white spots contrast from the other parts. So misclassified because can be distinguished from normal dataset.
Alright, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Monica. I think this is very insightful research and very interesting research. I hope this research will continue to improve until it will be implemented in the real world. Yeah. Okay, now because we have time constraint, we will move on to our next presenter. The next presenter is Miss Indah Manfaatipun from Universitas Gadjah Mada. Are you ready for a present? Okay, you can move forward. Ms. Indah will present a paper titled Enhancing Diabetes Prediction on Imbalance Data Using RM-Smooth-Driven KNN Framework. Okay, you have 10 minutes and the time and this is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ina Mahathir from Universitas Indonesia. I'm a student of postgraduate of Department of Mathematics. Okay, today I will present my research entitled Enhancing Data Expedition on imbalance data using RMCOT driven and framework. This is my supervisor, Mr. Abdul Rahman and Mr. Gazali. My presentation consists of 4 parts. First is introduction, the second is method. Go to the next. The third is result and discussion, and the fourth is conclusion. Okay, diabetes is a chronic disease that causes major global morbidity, and it can lead a very serious complication. And the global prevalence of diabetes approximately 527 million in 2021 and still increase year by year. Early and accurate prediction of diabetes is crucial for implementing preventive measure and personalized treatment plans. While traditional diagnostic approach such as blood test and clinical evaluation are often intensive and may not practical in large dataset population screening. So we use machine learning approach to provide innovative method for analyzing complex dataset and identifying pattern that may not be easily detected using conventional statistical technique. Among various machine learning techniques, the KNN algorithm has been widely utilized for classification due to its simplicity, intuitive nature, and effectiveness in handling complex data sets. Although KNN models have demonstrated strong performance, the issues of imbalanced data set can be constrained to the classification models. So we try to solve to overcome this problem, the addressing global health crisis, and to mitigate of chronic complication and to reduction of economic burdens. And the main problem, go to the next one. The main problem is imbalance dataset create bias in diagnostic models. It means bias in predictive modeling. Medical dataset often exhibit significant cost imbalance where non-diabetic cases outnumber diabetic ones. This disparity causes classifier to favor the majority class, leading to biased performance and poor identification of critical mortality class instance. And the second is impact on clinical reliability. In diabetes screening, imbalanced data often result in high false negative rates. Failing to detect diabetic patient is a significant concern in clinical setting as misdiagnostic prevent early intervention and increase the risk of serious health complications. And the next is application of standard algorithm. Simple algorithm like KNN are highly sensitive to skill distribution. Without addressing the imbalance, the risk models struggle to establish accurate decision boundaries, often overlooking patterns that characterize the smaller, chronic, and diabetic population.
And the fourth is necessity of advanced resampling. Tradition oversampling method like SMOTE, synthetic minority oversampling, may cause overfitting by ignoring feature correlation. Robust technique like robust Mahalanobis SMOTE are essential to generate representative synthetic samples that account for the complex interaction found in high-dimensional medical health indicator data. Just like the key indicator for diabetes variants. So we introduced the robust Mahalanobis SMOTE driven framework, which is a systematic approach that pairs a robust synthetic oversampling with intuitive neighbor-based classification. And RM SMOTE, acronym of robust Mahalanobis SMOTE, an advanced oversampling technique that creates synthetic minority samples using Mahalanobis distance. And DKNN, as we know, a non-parametric classifier that assign label based on the major default of the car closest data point. So this study addressed that gap by one is proposing a hybrid RM SMOTE kind framework with systematic variable parameter optimization. The second is comparing RM SMOTE against standard SMOTE under identical experimental condition. And the third is contextualization result against prior study using the diabetes health indicator dataset. Go to the next slide. Yeah, here's the synthetic minority oversampling or SMOTE. Focus on data optimization for imbalance. SMOTE address class imbalance by generating synthetic sample for the minority class through interpolation between existing event and their nearest neighbor. The purpose is mitigation of overfitting by synthesizing artificial example rather than merely duplicating existing data points. The technique improve model generalization and reduce the risk of overfitting during the training. Here's the mathematically formula for SMOTE. X nu equal x1 plus lambda x j minus xe, where xi is a minority class instant, xe is one of the nearest neighbor, and lambda is a random number in the range. Next, here's the robust Mahalanobis SMOTE. Focus on realistic data interpolation by providing oversampling instead in variant region the minority vector space. RM SMOTE reduce the generation of noisy bordered samples. This result is more representative synthetic instance that improve the generalization ability of the underlying classifier. And the Mahalanobis distance, maybe you ever heard the Euclidean distance. The Mahalanobis distance between 2 points xi and xj is defined as the xi xj equal square root x1 minus xj transpose sigma inverse xe min xj, where sigma is the covariant mass of data, xy and xj are data points. By incorporating this metric, SMOTE generate more realistic and meaningful synthetic data. Here's the kinetics method. Maybe you ever studied before. This operational principle methodology mathematical we often using Euclidean system to calculate the distance, the square root of the sum of square vector difference, characteristic and complexity. KNN is known as a lazy learning algorithm, and the previous study of diabetes research used the PIMA dataset, where the accuracy is 80.5%. Here's the mathematical representation of KNN. And this is the difference evaluation metric for imbalance classification. We are not focused just only on accuracy, but also we focus on another metric. We call it sensitivity and specificity. Comprehensive classification metrics as accuracy, precision, recall, and one score is a holistic view, but we are not only focused on accuracy because accuracy provides a general performance. In medical health, medical data is more complex. Okay, next. This is the method. The data set overview. We use DCDC, Diabetes Health Indicator of comprehensive 18 predictor. Samples is 25,000, predictors 18, binary response, diabetes, non-diabetes, imbalance ratio 5.8 versus 1. This is the K health indicator, biometric indicator, behavioral indicator, socio-demographic, and medical history. Next. Here's the research flow chart, and we start from data preprocessing, import libraries and dataset, data preprocessing, study pattern split 80-20, and smoothie. Applying to training stat only, parameter training, training and model, prediction, model evaluation, comparative analysis, and result analysis. More fun. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Inga, unfortunately your time is up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, maybe we will continue to the Q&A session.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe langsung the conclusion.
Oh, okay. Can we see the conclusion section?
Okay. The conclusion, RM smoothie can achieve 92.9% accuracy, and F1 score is 93.3%, and the ROC is 92.8%, outperforming both baseline KNN and smoothie KNN. Monologies based our sampling generate more representative synthetic sample that respect feature correlation in clinical data. Recall 99% extraordinary complete detection of diabetic critical for early clinical screening, and how food processing and formation complexity is like simple but interpretable KNN is complex and simple. And our future research we will extend it to the advanced classifier such as gradient boosting or something another classifier. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Inga, for that insightful research. I think it is very interesting topic, right? Because about the diabetes prediction itself, it's kindly to become the specific topic that used to apply in this healthy application. Okay, maybe we will continue to our Q&A session. Is there any question from the other attendants? Okay, please kindly state your full name and the affiliation.
Thank you. So my name is Iqbal Sulamal. I'm from University of Indonesia. I'm a master of artificial intelligence. Okay. So my question is, so I'm not seeing the result yet. Then since the challenge is about imbalance classes, imbalance data, then you are using smooth. My question is, did you try another model, another balancing model like a simple oversampling to random oversampling, or others in, or maybe you try using LLM to augment that data, so you get better synthetic data, like
Okay. I will try Anderson, but in different data set. Different data set, I use Dataset for mental health issues for the case of mental health issue. And the traditional smoothies, we try to many case data set, but we still have limitation. So we try to improve the performance of the smoothie into the complex high-dimensional data set, like data set of diabetes with 18 predictor, with a large data set, and what if the distance matrix is changed? Including to Malanovis, you know that the distance matrix is various, Euclidean, Malanovis, Manhattan, and so on. Yes, we try to apply the Malanovis distance to improve the performance of smoke. Thank you very much.
Okay, once again, thank you so much, Miss Indah. And for everyone, if you have the other question or maybe you want to have any collaboration for the next research, please kindly approach Miss Indah after this session. Okay, because we have time limit, we will move on to the next presenter. Our next presenter is Miss Marlis Nasution from Universitas Putra Indonesia. Okay, you can come forward. Okay, she will present a paper titled Hybrid Transformer Architecture for Time Series Forecasting of Living Students. Okay, you have 10 minutes and the time please is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Marlis Nasution from the University of Indonesia, and my research is hybrid transformer glue architecture for time series perspective of the incident. So, the paper is one of major public health issue in tropical region, Indonesia especially, particularly in Indonesia, driven by climate, urbanization, and population density. Accurate forecasting is essential for outbreak prevention. It reminds challenge to non-linear pattern, seasonality, and complex influence factor. For traditional model, struggle with this complexion, while with learning improve perform but still have limitation. Therefore, a hybrid transformer input is proposed to enhance forecasting as well. A problem, the behavior is difficulty due to non-linear trends, seasonal fluctuation, and multivariate influence, environmental and demographic. Traditional model like ARIMA or SARIMA is found to capture complex pattern, while deep learning LSTM or have limitation in long-range deterministic learning. So, for problem solving, the study proposed a hybrid transformer glue model that combine global temporal learning. A transformer with efficient sequential model for glue. And model is obtained from multivariate linear data from 2017 to 2024. Data is from Bengkulu Province and show improved performance over conventional and standalone model. For model, the study proposed a hybrid transformer and glue model from multivariate. The framework consists from data collection to preprocessing and data splitting, and then model hybrid transformer and glue, data training and evaluation to to generate accurate one-step ahead prediction. Data is from data daily province is 12,384 record, which are including temperature, humidity, rainfall, rainy days, population destiny, and daily case is for target. And multi-region data enable learning complex temporal and environmental pattern. And for the processing, labeling, label, and coding categorical, label and coding from categorical data, and next normalization from numerical feature. And sliding windows sequence 12 is used to generate input-output sequence for one step ahead for cascading. From data splitting is canonical split 80 training and 20 for testing to prevent temporal order and avoid data leakage. For cascading strategy, one step ahead prediction with reduce for cascading for multi-step scenario. And progress model is hybrid transformer 2 is combined transformer where global dependency via self-attention, and 2 is for efficient sequential learning. Next. This is for configuration model, sequence range is 12, transformer line is 2, attention head 4, room unit is 64, base size is 32, learning rate is 0.001, epoch 100 optimizer Adams. And private model using Adam optimizer with MSA loss. Hyperparameter is optimizing using Bayes matrices. For evolutional matrix is MSA, RMSA, MRA, and coefficients. The result is the proposed transformer Go model achieves the best performance compared to all baseline model. It significantly reduces prediction error and improves coefficient. Indication data capability in capture the temporal pattern. The model prediction closely following actual trend. Although slight deviation occurs during outbreak spike. This is comparison level from single model. Arima, LSTM, Group Transformer, and Hybrid Transformer and Group. And we can do Transformer, Hybrid Transformer and Group is the best from the other model. MSA just from 6.7 to 1.68. RMS reduced to 1.29. MI reduced 0.72 and coefficient improved to 0.32. And hybrid model capture complex and non-linear data. And standalone model show limited performance, while Arima failed to model non-linear trend. Hybrid learning involves cascading accuracy and stability for complex epidemiology data. However, the new prediction remains challenged due to seasonal variability, environmental factor, and sudden outbreak spike. For conclusion, hybrid transformer will improve accuracy, outperform all baseline model, enable early outbreak detection, and for future research, incorporate spatial and modality data to improve cascading accuracy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Marlis, about the insightful research. Yeah. Okay, now we will open the Q&A session. Is there any question from the attendees? Okay, kindly state your name and the affiliation.
My name My name is Fitri Aini Nasution from Universitas Labuhan Batu. May I ask question for Miss Manis Nasution? Why is the new forecasting considered challenges, and how does the proposed model address this issue? Miss Manis.
Thank you. Can we get to the topic?
In here we can tell some challenges for this research is to nonlinear pattern seasonally and complex equation factor. So because the variable is not much but complex. One variable for another variable is not the same and not really have pattern. So if this just from one model, they can make they can prediction what about the environment from next season. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Maybe I have one additional question. I'm curious about your data set because since your data set is specific in Bengkulu, right?
Yes.
Is it can work if we apply this model to another region in Indonesia? Since Indonesia itself has specific characteristic, they have different characteristics.
Yes, of course. But if this model can apply to another country, even not just Indonesia, another country can, because each variable it can make prediction sesuai sama Tuhan.
So it can be customized based on the region, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much once again for Mr. Matis. Give me close for Ms. Matis. Okay. We will continue to our presenter. This is our last presenter, Mr. Azhar Faras. Okay, are you ready for the present? Okay, you can come forward. Okay, Mr. Azhar will present a paper titled Interpretable Deep Forest for High-Dimensional DNA Methylation Analysis in Prostate Cancer Stages, right? You will have 10 minutes and our team will help you to present the slide, but please kindly inform to us if we need to move the slide. Yeah. Okay, you can start your presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Azhar Faras. I'm from Institute Technology School of Bogor. Today, I'm pleased to present our research titled Interpretable Deep Forest for High-Dimensional DNA Methylation Analysis in Prostate Cancer Staging. This paper was co-authored by my doctor, Ms. Sofian Dari, Ms. Arjuna Purnama, and Ms. Putri Wikimutyani. This paper presentation has four parts. First, we introduction, second method, and stress on discussion, and the last part is conclusion. Let's start the first experiment is introduction. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancer in men. Accurate stratification is crucial to distinguish between early stage and advanced stage, avoiding over-treatment or under-treatment in the patient. In this study, we analyzed DNA methylation profile from ddPRRNA, since these early epigenetic changes are promising biomarkers for prognosis and early detection. Analysis genomic data test the first of dimensionality. Whereas
tens of thousands of genes in the features, but only limited sample patient sample or in the observation, which often leads to overfitting. And confusional deep neural network require massive data in that training data set, and the model acts as black box, making the prediction uninterpretable to clinical. When the forest model are robust against noise but lack the multi-level transformation needed for deep representation learning. And for this introduction, this paper are to objective first to propose a robust binary classification framework using deep forest architecture integrate with threshold optimization strategy to directly address inherent clinical class imbalance. And the second, to utilize SHAP to drive biomarker identification and provide extra global and local interpretability to assist medical professionals. And let's start the second content methods. Take a look at our systematic workflow. We use the TGBA data set, which consists of 490 patient samples with 9,489 genomic features representing imbalance, and this dataset is imbalanced with 73 patient sample in early stage and 27% sample in advanced stage. To address this imbalance and fully prevent data leakage, we implemented a strict partition strategy where 50% for training and 50% for validation and 20% for testing and for prevent data leakage, we repeated 10 independent application to effectively prevent data leakage. And for feature selection, we use random forest with indexing method on the training set, filtering out noise, and extracting the most relevant genomic feature. These selected features were used to build and evaluate the deep forest model, which was integrated with threshold optimization, followed by model interpretation using SHAP. And this deep forest architecture, as shown in the diagram, each layer consists of several forests, and where the black box represents the random forest model, and the blue box represents the completely random forest. Together, they perform the representation learning without big propagation, making this model efficient for genomic data. Genomic data where the number of features exceeds the number of samples. And finally, this model is integrated with SHAP, implemented based on game theory. SHAP calculates the precise contribution of each game to the prediction, enabling both global ranking biomarkers and literal explanation at the patient level. This transforms the model from a black box into a transparent and trustworthy medical tool. And last three content is rational discussion. Despite facing highly data imbalanced data, the forest proposed to be robust across an independent replication. The framework showed a strong stability in the top 150 genes category. It achieved an aggregate sensitivity of 0.713 and an F1 score of 0.636. While the overall performance between the forest and random forest appears balanced, the sensitivity of the forest in predicting the global and the advanced stage patient is consistently higher than the random forest. When the best performing iteration was evaluated, the results were quite. The forest achieved a maximum accuracy of 0.904 and the update F1 score of 0.818. This indicates that simplifying the genome space from nearly 1,500 genes to just 100 or 150 genes effectively filters out noise and maximizes performance. the 100 gates scenario, which yielded the highest class score, was further analyzing using SHARP is allowed to accurately interpretable how each game contributes to the prediction, providing global geographical ranking and providing global geographical ranking and local explanation at the nation level. To further validate our findings, we incorporate SHARP to enhance the interpretability of the model. From the optimal set of the top 100 games, our SHARP analysis highlight the 20 most influential peoples. On the left, the swarm diagram shows how game repetition level influence prediction, while on the right, the bar graphs ranks the average absolute sharp values. For example, A and F consistently emerges as the most influential game, followed by NFPC and NRA42. This global interpretability provides clinicians with a clear ranking of biomarkers. Let's begin with the advanced stage patient profile shown in the top graph. The SHARP analysis revealed the hypermethylation in critical genes, specifically KRC5 and SNF1, acted as the strong malignant drivers. This pushed the risk probability up to 0.544, leading the forest model to correctly classify the patient in the advanced stage. And early stage patient profile in the bottom graph. In this case, several genes such as 75748, CLF, and 113 and BFI1 contribute positively and tended to push the prediction toward advance. However, the cumulative feature accepted a strong dampening influence, driving the probability down to 0.14. As a result, the default model confidently classified this patient as early stage. And in conclusion, our default model achieved an accuracy of over 90% and provide a highly robust handling several imbalanced clinical data. Even after reducing genetic features by more than 90%, the model maintained its stability and strong performance. With the integration of SHARP, the architecture has been transformed into a clinical transparent tool. This model not only predicts but also explains the clinical rationale behind each patient diagnosis by identifying the primary conflicting genetic mechanism. And for the research moving forward, our research will explore alternative feature selectors such as Boruta or RFA to improve stability. We also plan to further develop the deforest architecture itself by introducing different heterogeneous and stable layers, as well as integrated multi-omics data such as FNSF to address remaining predictive ambiguity. And this is my reference. It is in my presentation. Thank you for attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Azra, for insightful presentation and insightful research, of course. Now we will open the floor for the question. Is there any question from the other attendees or another presenter? Is there any question? Okay, maybe I will start my question about your research. Okay, since in today, for healthcare itself not really adopt the AI itself, how can your model help to increase the trust of the healthcare to adopt the AI, especially for the cancer thing? Okay, for the AI itself, about AI or maybe machine learning. Okay, this is not every healthcare institution use or adopt the machine learning or AI. How can your model help to increase your the trustness of them to use or adopt the AI or machine learning?
Thank you for the question. In this prediction, we make the prediction with the percent imbalance. So having imbalance is not we use mode or because this data set is head dimensional. with this synthetic data is making data synthesis is to interpret the original data set so to increase the performance calculation, we use optimization threshold. Sorry, optimization threshold with 5.5, but in this case, we setting the optimization threshold with the best optimization like 0.3, 0.4.
Okay. Maybe one question again. Can we know what the most difficult stage or the most difficult process when you do this research?
So
The most difficult process when you do this research?
that was the promise. The most difficult to solve the process. The most difficult is to approach the menentukan optimum threshold and this decide the code with of 25 12 and for menentukan intersection baru terhadap
Okay, so the most hardest part is to make an accurate model. Okay, I think enough here for this session. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Azhar. You can back to your seat. Please give applause for Mr. Azhar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our panel session. On behalf of ICADES 2026, I would like to thank you for all participants for your contribution, for your insightful research. And I would also like to extend my gratitude to all participants for your engagement in our session for today. Before we close our session, maybe we can take a picture together. Yeah, everyone can move forward. Okay, maybe everyone can move here. Okay.
Ya.
Oke, 1, 2, 3. Oke, sekali lagi. 1, 2, 3.
Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Oke, sudah.
Clear? 1, 2. Oke.
Okay, everyone, this is our last session. Okay, we can maximize our time. Maybe if you want to collaborate with each other, or maybe have the other relation with each other participant. And if you want to join the next parallel session, if you want to watch the next parallel session, you can join room A2 or room B2. The next parallel session will begin at 3:30 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Okay, maybe that's all for today. Once again, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.